Real Worlds features the work of 8 artists who seek to interpret and comprehend the world through drawing. For some, drawing is a practice grounded in a deep connection to place or country. For others, it's a reinvention that springs forth from imagination, their images inflected by subjective experience and rich with narrative suggestion. For each artist, the immediacy and intimacy of drawing is particularly attuned to the urgency of our times. Their work reflects the human capacity for endurance and adaptability. In the absence of individual power to transform forces that threaten to overwhelm, they reflect our capacity to imagine something better and different. The real world can be reckoned with, be re-seen, be understood anew as we face its mercurial challenges. While conceived before our wild year of 2020 and created both before and during it, the Dobell Biennial drawings of Real Worlds speak directly to where we are now. Nathan Hawke's lyrical pastel drawings are concerned with form, atmosphere and process, while being firmly embedded in everyday life. Wisps of figures emerge from halls of pigment, while recognisable objects, foliage and snippets of text are revealed and obscured by abstract pulses of colour. Enigmatic and open, they recall fairy tales or dreams and have a richly muddled and compressed quality that suggests time is simultaneous and knowledge is fugitive. Text is included for its phonetic qualities, implying a layer of sound. The figures and objects are not illustrative, but rather project a sense of ambiguity or potential action. The viewer is free to take their own imaginative journey through the work and to form their own conclusions. Drawing is an intuitive and emotional process for Hawkes. Subject to the broader circumstances of their making, in this case an era of environmental and geopolitical crises, as well as the everyday dynamics of a family home, drawing is a way of engaging his senses. Poetic evocations of feeling in physical form, his drawings comfort as much as they exorcise. Peter Munkery is a senior man from Indulkana in the Anangu, Pitjantjatjara, Yankuni Tjatjara APY lands in South Australia. Born near Mimili, his work is firmly grounded in his knowledge of country, passed on to him by senior men, as well as his memories of living and working as a stockman on country. These lyrical ink and wash drawings depict different species of trees, emphasising the symbolic importance of trees for Anangu culture. Mr. Munkery states, "I've painted the trees because they're a symbol of Anangu culture. The punu, tree, is where our culture starts. Kulata, spears, miru, spear throwers, piti, bowls, nala nala, hunting sticks, wana, digging sticks. All of our traditional tools, they all come from trees. I've painted my country and all the different types of trees there. There's a lot of different ones, and Anangu have a lot of different ways of using them. Some grow tall and skinny, and we use them for kulata and straighten them over a fire. Others are really hard and strong, like the mulga tree we use to make miru." Mr. Munkery's role as a senior man is both to care for country and teach his knowledge of it to younger generations. In fulfilling this through his art and through his advocacy for the environment, he protects the culture of his people and keeps it strong. Rich with nostalgic associations of a 1980s childhood, this epic drawing by Martin Bell invites us into a tangled world of infinite narrative possibility. Images of toys and other mass culture ephemera from his ever-growing collection form rhythmic and pulsating patterns across the sheets of paper. Your eye has little place to rest. This drawing is alive with tiny characters, from gremlins to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to the goofy mascot of Mad Magazine, Alfred E. Newman. Standing back, we can observe robot action figures engaged in mortal combat. Bell's work stems from the preoccupations of his formative years and reflects the connection he feels with the people who previously owned these objects from his collection. His characters stand for timeless archetypes from storytelling traditions, reflecting how myth, religion and literature are continuously reinvented by succeeding generations under new names. Through play, such characters help us express the different roles and actions individuals take within stories and in life. At the core of Helen Wright's art lies a concern for the natural world, with an emphasis on the fragile balance between humanity and nature. These drawings depict teetering piles of industrial detritus collapsing in a confusion of wreckage and decay. Scrap Stack Freefall in the Age of Stupid imagines the unpredictability and disorientation inherent in this dynamic, while Scrap Stack the Slump depicts the aftermath, a mishmash pile of chaotic debris. Contemporary ruins, made of distinctly modern materials, they are ordered but also precarious and volatile. The removal of one element threatens the indiscriminate destruction of the whole. Standing as cautionary tales against egocentric hubris and the defiance of nature, these drawings are monuments to human folly. Wright developed these works using found imagery, including fragmented architectural structures and consumer items from Bunnings catalogues. These were reordered and manipulated using Photoshop and paper collage as studies for the finished drawings. Drawing appeals to Wright as a medium because it is immediate and accessible. She says, "It's the quickest way to make a mark, to take in the world and then build on that to make it as complicated and complex as you want. You just have this dialogue with yourself and your ideas." Matt Coyle's darkly Gothic drawings have an unsettling, dreamlike quality that hovers between real and surreal. Their sharp clarity and strong contrasts of light and shade recall genres of cinema, graphic novels, theatre and literature. Coyle's works suggest cryptic narratives with the evocation of visceral emotions central to their power. To make these drawings, he constructed a model world of found objects, which he then lit and photographed. From these photographs, he made drawings in ink, coloured pencil and acrylic paint, making further additions, such as the addition of his own figure. The oppressively airless quality of these drawings encourages a primal response that taps into our fears and dream worlds. While independent of each other, they are displayed in concert, like stills from a movie. Each is a single moment wrested from a longer but incomplete narrative thread. Their ambiguity and isolation from context forces viewers to form their own stories and their own meanings. Beck-Orsag's meticulously rendered drawings feel both familiar yet strange. Composed from an assemblage of unrelated and anonymous landscape images sourced from the internet, these are collaged, layered and manipulated digitally before being drawn in graphite pencil on paper. Mirror imaging and the addition of unexpected elements within the composition emphasise the artificiality of these landscapes. They are not scenes taken from the world as we know it. Rather, they are works of fiction. We can see words taken from songs, instruction manuals and religious texts, with cryptic symbols rendered in gold. These snippets of text and golden icons question the way we attribute value to certain shapes and symbols, as they operate as potential ciphers to decode the image. Orsag is interested in ideas of religion, faith and magic, and what draws people to different belief systems. Her invented worlds reflect on the quest for higher meaning, whether these be through imagined utopias or the perfect promised land. As humans continue to seek spaces for the sacred, their religions, politics and cultures will eventually pass. It is only nature that endures. Danny Mellor's land spaces are informed by his ongoing connection with the country of his mother's family, of the Ngajin and Mamu peoples in the Atherton Tablelands of far north Queensland. These sites hold and reveal the legacies of history, inspiring works that emphasise the transcendent ecology of nature and giving life to cultural histories and dreaming narratives. These drawings feature rainforest landscapes rendered in blue crayon, with the addition of suspended or collaged figures and objects. Mellor uses this colour to signal the colonial transformation of the land and cultural spaces of Aboriginal people. It echoes the blue and white images on dinnerware made by European manufacturers at the same time Australia was colonised. Scale and perspective are manipulated in these works. Concave surfaces draw in the eye of the viewer, immersing them within their mysterious world. Some features, such as the tiny Aboriginal figures on tree boughs, are contrasting and assertive intrusions. We are aware of their presence, curious about their endeavours, but most of all, challenged to consider the enduring histories of human occupation of the land. Jack Stahle's complex drawing installations utilise languages of scientific illustration and systems of classification, implying that they are objective assertions of information. In fact, they are an informative bunch of nonsense, part of an imaginary science that is paradoxically fictional in content while also subject to rigorous methodology. This installation includes ink drawings on paper, found objects and natural materials, presented as an interconnected and ever-expanding system. Each element feels simultaneously familiar, yet cryptic. They are presented using typical museum cabinets and plinths, suggesting the ways in which institutions house and display artefacts endows them with authority. Stahle conceives of drawing as the most immediate and responsive way of understanding and communicating information. What we first perceive in his work as systems of knowledge of the world in microcosm are in fact a reflection of how the human brain seeks to comprehend the world and ultimately itself.